What's up, YouTube? Siegfried True Lane, and today I'm finally going to be releasing my review of Wuthering Waves. I made it a couple of times, but after playing a bit, I find that there are things I want to say differently. So today we will be doing the final review of Wuthering Waves. I'll see you guys in just a minute. What's up, everybody? Siegfried True Lane, and today we're talking about Wuthering Waves. This is my official review coming out after a week of playing the game. I do have a couple points I've made for each section of this video. The first part, of course, is entering the world. This is what we're going to talk about like day one playing. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is issues updating the game. There were just a lot of issues in general. Updating was one of them. I saw that people had issues where it would get stuck. It wouldn't verify the files or wouldn't do the update. Right? Mine was with the verifying the files. I have had issues where it'd update. It would say to restart the game. I'd restart the game, but I had to go to Control-Alt-Delete, find the process, and actually end it because it wouldn't start the game. Major problem. The frame rates and the stuttering drop. I mean, that was really bad. I got really bad frame rate drops and stuttering, and I play on Aegis, so I'm actually in my location. And it was bad. Like, it was Tower Fantasy bad. And that's kind of an issue I don't play Tower Fantasy because those frame rate drops are just so awful. And to be fair, my computer can play Genshin with no problems, and I can play Resident Evil 4 Remake in Final Fantasy 14 with no frame rate drops. And this one was really bad. This was not my computer, but this was an optimization issue. So it really did show that Wuthering Waves did not really optimize itself properly. My first opinions of this game is that it was released too early. In all honesty, it has way too many bugs that I've come across, and it was released way too early. Kind of sucks, because I think if they'd waited a couple more months to kind of, iron out the bugs, it would have had a much smoother release, and I think it'd be a lot better. But I do think that a lot of people are going to be turned off from this game with that bad release. And when you compare that to Genshin's release, Genshin's original release was so good. No bugs, the game moved really smoothly. It was also the first time we had a gacha system like they had where it's like, oh, I can get this eventually. For a person who plays gacha games, Genshin's release was amazing. So, I do think that when it came to actually the release of this game, I think it failed horribly compared to Genshin. And we're using Genshin kind of as the goalpost because that's kind of the biggest one out there, right? And I do think it failed horribly compared to Genshin. But, that's only the launch. As we go through this guide, we're going to see how it succeeds and how it fails. This doesn't mean it's going to be a flop. It doesn't mean it's going to be a success. It's just simply where it succeeded and where it failed. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop over into part 2 of our guide. Our review. Since the first part talked about entering the world, I felt like the second part should talk about the hot fixes and compensation that were made, and we're most definitely going to compare this to Genshin. Now, in part 1 I mentioned a lot of the issues they had, bugs, login issues, frame rate issues, stuttering. They gave us 10 free wishes, and they fixed it within 24 to 48 hours. I gotta be honest, that was really nice to see. Not only that, but things that people said they would have issues with, the devs have already said, okay, we got you, and they're working on it. So, really, really happy to see that. This guide's part's gonna be really short because I'm just gonna be honest. Their compensation of giving free wishes and their speed at which of fixing it, great. Really, really surpasses Genshin. And I'm glad to see that. I want to see this game do well in every way, and any way it can beat Genshin, I am a fan of personally. So this part's gonna be really short, but now we're gonna go and jump into where Wuthering Waves failed when compared to Hoyo. This is going to be a bit controversial for anyone who's a Wuthering Waves fans. Some of these are opinions, but some of these are not. So I will see you guys in just a second. Alright. This is where it's going to get more negative. Again, I want to make this review short. I don't want to make it too deep. There are going to be parts that are going to get deeper, and this is going to be one of them. First of all, optimization. This game does not run nearly as smoothly and is not nearly as optimized as Genshin is. Genshin is so well optimized, it's insane. This game has, like I said, the stuttering issues. I will still get them at times. Like, it's running smooth now. But when I launch the game, it stutters a lot. Oh, there you go. There's one right there, right? It just getting a random freeze, right? And I get some people being like, oh, I don't have those issues. It doesn't matter if you don't have those issues or not. If they exist in the game, and they exist enough that people are making, commenting about it, that's a problem. And this game is not nearly as well optimized as Genshin is. Or any Hoyoverse game. And that's sad. Because that is something I think that, like I said in part 1, it was released too early, and I think that's why it was released too early. They didn't find out a way to properly optimize it. Another thing where it fails, it's not on PS5. And I'm not going to trust anyone that says, oh, the devs officially came out and said it, unless I see where the dev actually said it. Because I'm going to be perfectly honest, or the producer said it. Because I'm going to be honest, people love to say it, but they never actually officially see it. They hear somebody else say it, and it's just hearsay. So until I actually see an actual post from the dev claiming that, yes, it will go to PS5, I'm just not going to believe it, okay? I need to see it first. And the fact that it's not on PS5 right now is it is where it fails when compared to Genshin. It should be on PS5. It should have gotten a PS5 release right when everything else was. It's a shame it didn't. The battle system. Now, again, these last two are kind of opinions, but I don't feel like this battle system is as well fleshed out as Genshin's was. Genshin's elemental battle system, I really enjoy. I think that's a really good system. I don't feel like this one feels like a mix of a bunch of different battle systems. I mean, the outro skills and the intro skills are kind of cool because you can see how to build them up, and they're definitely better than the QTE system that is in Honkai Impact 3rd. But I still think that the Genshin system is better, in my opinion. Because when you have these outro and intro skills, you want to stay on your character until you build it up to switch out properly. This means that, unlike Genshin, where I can pop into Nahida, use her E to gather everybody, pop over to Farina, use her E, pop Farina's ultimate, pop into his ultimate, go back to Zhongli, pop his ultimate to refresh shields, and then go to my DPS. I can't do that in this game. I have to go to Jinshin, build up her shield, which is that little bar underneath. I gotta build up, give me a second here. Build up this shield here, then switch over to my DPS, right? And I just switch over which DPS I want to play. But I can't really see playing two different supports just because I would build up her buff, then I gotta switch up, build up his buff, and then switch to my DPS, right? If he was a support. I know he's a DPS. So I do feel like the battle system itself is weaker in Wuthering Waves than it was in Genshin. I think Genshin's battle system is far superior. I also do think that Genshin's battle is more clean and smooth, and I don't feel that way with Wuthering Waves. They added in the dodge mechanic that's in Honkai Impact 3rd and in Punishing Grey Raven. To be fair, that was in Honkai Impact 3rd first, before Punching Grey Raven. And I feel like it doesn't work in this setting as well as it does in Genshin. So, that's a pity. And then graphics, I do feel like Genshin is still graphically better. Maybe not a lot better, but it's still graphically better than, this game is. Which, I mean, like, I like Jian, but I'm going to be honest, Zhao graphically looks better. This looks like high-end, like, end PS4, early PS5 graphics, and I think Genshin is a bit better. But again, that one is opinion-based, so that is not a fact. Anyone can feel differently, and it's totally fine. You might prefer this animation style. But that's just where that's at. The next part, we're going to be talking about how Wuthering Waves succeeds compared to Genshin. So, I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright. How does Wuthering Waves beat Hoyoverse? Okay. First we're going to talk about is the gacha system. That's the number one system. The weapon banner in Genshin Impact is so awful that just having a weapon banner that's guaranteed makes this game beat it. Because literally, if you take a look at Genshin, right, to guarantee the weapon, it is 24. 24? 24 wishes to guarantee a weapon. That is awful. 24 multis, sorry. 24 multis to guarantee a weapon. Versus 8 multis in this game. That means that this game is 1/3 the cost to get multis. And the summons cost the exact same. So it's not like, and price-wise it's the exact same. So summons are 1/4 the price. And then the multi is at 80 instead of the 90, which means the multi is cheaper as well with characters. Still 50-50, but it's cheaper. That now makes Genshin the most expensive gacha game using the new style of gacha. That's ridiculous. Straight up, unbelievably ridiculous. I mean, Honkai Pack 3rd is cheaper, Star Rail is cheaper, and those are Hoyoverse games, but for some reason, Genshin just does not want to get with it. And it's kind of sad when 2 of their games are doing it, but Genshin can't. So, definitely the gacha system, Wuthering Waves, blows it out of the water compared to Genshin. And so far, the thing that I was worried about in the beginning was, are they going to be releasing enough currency for it, though? The gacha system could be good, but if the currency is bad, it doesn't matter how good the gacha system is. Because you're not making enough currency to use it. Gacha system works really well. Next, exploration. Oh my god, I love the exploration in this game. I love that instead of having to climb up a mountain, well, first of all, I don't use stamina when I run. I love that. And I love that when I climb up a mountain, I don't gotta climb it up. I can just literally, run around and do other things, and it's just so smooth. I'm just like, I love it. I love the fact that it's just real quick. I'm in and I'm out. And I've got to find an example where I run up, but like right here, right? Just run up. It's so much faster to get around things, and it just saves useless time. An issue I've always had in Genshin with the exploration is that Genshin exploration makes my characters feel weak. Because, you can fight this gigantic beast, but you can't climb a mountain. You can't climb up a wall. And I've always hated that about Genshin. I never understood why they made it feel so weak. So exploration, by far, again, Wuthering Waves blows out of the water. And if Wuthering Waves introduces mounts, especially flying mounts, yeah, Wuthering Waves will be the top dog when it comes to exploration. The final one is the Echoes or the Relic system. If there is one thing that we complain about in Genshin that isn't about resin or gacha weapons or endgame content, it's the Relic system. The Relic system in Genshin is fucking horrible. Because you have to go for the specific sets. You need your Elemental Cup, you need your Crit Hail, with your Crit Rate or Crit Damage headpiece, and then usually your attack timepiece, unless it's, a Mastery or an ER, etc. You need the specific pieces, and you can't craft all the pieces like you can in Star Rail. Star Rail did it really well. Pretty much you can just craft the custom piece you need, but Genshin just screwed that one up. This game, I think, has it really well. The fact that, I can just run around, kill an enemy, and get their Echo, and that's my Relic system, I love it. And the fact that you can quickly level up, I was able to get my databank leveled up so quickly that by day 3 in this game, I'm already able to farm 5 stars. This means that I'm actually able to truly farm for content that I need, gear that I need. I love it. I also love the fact that the equip system is different as well. So normally you would want 2 you could put 2 elemental cups here, but I'm running a 4 piece, so I got that extra crit rate here. Now eventually I will switch over to, because I got this arrow guy here, right? And I'm going to be switching over to him and using him 100%, especially since, we got crit rate here, which is what I need. Hopefully we'll get a crit damage here. And then if I get another 3-level, arrow damage bonus that rolls crit rate, I will be switching back to run, a different set. But for now, this is actually running really well. I've got this is really well right here. I've got heavy attack, energy, and crit rate. This has run crit rate. And then, of course, I do need another. And then, of course, this one has crit rate, right? So I will be farming for other pieces. And that's what's kind of fun. I can actually farm relics, and it doesn't cost resin. It gives me a reason to kill enemies. It solves one of the biggest problems of Genshin. What the hell do you do? In this game, you kill enemies. It gives you a reason to do it. I love it. So, those 3 aspects, Wuthering Waves has just beaten the crap out of Genshin. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, except for optimization, the 3 areas where it loses, I don't care that much about, but the optimization definitely is the biggest one. Battle system, kind of. Battle system and optimizations are the biggest ones. Graphics and PS5 don't really care about too much. but I had to pick them because they are actually going to be where it fails. So definitely amazing. You know, I really love that. So we're going to part 5 about how these games are the same. So I'll see you in a minute. Alright, how is Genshin and Wuthering Waves the same? The upgrade system sucks in both. It really does. I mean, like, you gotta farm these, you gotta farm all this stuff, you gotta go find these flowers. Now, to be fair, I don't know what it's gonna be. Genshin's is ridiculously high, so hopefully it's not ridiculously high. But then, of course, you have this right here. Like, I gotta go farm these down eventually. These won't be, that won't be red rank 5, so I don't have to worry about it now. But I will need to, you know, I'll need to go kill this guy again to get this bell. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bells, right? But then this is the big one. I need to get these as well. And you say I got 3 purples, which means I'm gonna have to farm a lot of those. I need 15 of these. Oh, no, 15. I need 12 of these and 12 of these, and then 5 of these. So the upgrade systems in both games is absolute dog shit. When you compare it to like Star Rail, which is better, or even Honkai Back 3, which is just god tier. The second one is the stamina system. The stamina system is really bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's so bad. It's just like Genshin's. Yeah, you got 240. Which actually I think is where Genshin's at right now. And Genshin I think is gonna jump to 240. It's bad. It really is. I don't like the stamina system. I don't like being limited. And the worst part about this game, when it comes to upgrading, is actually upgrading your echoes. So far, you can't use level 1 echoes to upgrade. So this purple one here, I can't put that into any of these that are below 25. The only thing I can do with them is go to databank, try to re-roll them into something better. And hope that we get something good. Got a 5-star Spectra bonus, but this is the wrong set. So, it really is one where it's just like... okay, I need luck. Depressing, because it could have been better. And then the only way to actually upgrade it is to pretty much, we gotta go these, and this costs 60 resin, by the way. Or stamina, whatever you want to call it. It costs 60. Which means that in a full set of 240, that means I can run this 4 times before I run out. And it takes a lot to level up your relics to 25. You'll see here as I try to start work on getting them. I'm going to run one round to show you just how much XP I'll have. Let's go get through this. I do have the sound off so it doesn't overdo my voice. The actual difficulty of clearing it is pretty easy. This could have easily been solved. They just make this cost like 10 or 20. Could have easily been would have been much better. Personally, what would have made it even better is if they'd actually just use this for the mats that you need to attune it, not the mats for leveling it. Because not only do you need the mats to level it, but you also need the mats to tune it, to actually add these side stats on the substats onto it, which is kind of a pain. But if you were just getting things like the tuning parts with this 60, it would be a lot better, in my opinion. But here we can take a look here. Oh, what is this? Please be. Oh, that's HP, so it doesn't matter. Look, it's both things, double HP. So these are level 1s. They should be, we want them to be 8 attack here. So we got 1 of these, 8 of these, none of the blues. So now, let's take a look at this one that we have up here right now. It is 23. And we can't even get a full level. We've got almost a full level, but not a full level. So I gotta run this twice, and then I'm out of resin, but I gotta run it twice to try and get this Echo to 25. Which I have to get because it has the arrow damage bonus, and I gotta see what that last stat is and hope that that stat is either a heavy attack or crit damage, which is really what I need. There are some other ones that will take over it, but the ones I do not want are any defensive stats. So pretty much, I just run this again. It's really easy. Now, maybe at higher levels, you know, when your world's level higher, it'll give you a lot more. Right now, where my level is, it's really giving me crap, and it's really depressing because it's just like, you know, it could do so much better. And I don't think that that limiting your character is how you make a good game. I think the fact that this limits me is hugely problematic. So, upgrades and stamina, this game is pretty much the same. See, this is a piece of crap place. This one's good though. Okay, there we go, an attack right there. So now we got one that could be usable. Again, we don't know for sure because we don't know what the substats are. But pretty much now I'm gonna go here. And we're gonna go back here. We're gonna go level up this arrow one right real quick. And we will finally be able to get this up. And the nice thing is it will give me the extras back. But once you get up, then you gotta go over here and we gotta hope we get the substat. Now the substat we want is crit damage is number 1. And there's another issue. I'd love to throw me in battle even though I'm not in battle, right? It says I'm in battle. I'm not in battle, but it says I am. So let's go back here. Back in. And it gave me an HP. So pretty much I'm stuck using this because it's the arrow damage bonus, but you can see these stats suck. Which is depressing. And then we go ahead and get into this one. We're going to start leveling this one up. And luckily we get level 9 on it, so we can at least roll 1, and hopefully it'll be crit rate or crit damage right in the beginning. That's actually fine too. So here's the problem, right? I got this one ready. I can't do anything with it at this point. I have to wait because you can't use the old ones. So now I'm pretty much going to go here. Grab up my battle pass. I did pick up my battle pass, of course, because I will always pick up battle passes, to be fair. And realistically, Echo XP you need more than anything else. Like, I really wish they gave... They need to fix the Echo XP. I'm just going to say that right now. If they don't fix the Echo XP, it's going to be a huge problem in the future. So, hopefully they'll fix that. Let's see what we get here. Oh, we got a 5 with the Glacio. And he's energy recharge. This one could be probably useful in the future. Anyways, Echo, the upgrade and the stamina system both suck. This equally bad as they do in Genshin. Anyways, we're going to go to part 6, which is pretty much the final part of this video. So when Wuthering Waves was released, the biggest thing people were talking about is how it will challenge Genshin Impact. Oh, it's going to challenge Genshin Impact. It's going to be the game that, you know, makes Genshin Impact, puts Genshin Impact out of business, right? A lot of people literally, if I'm going to be honest, treating it as though it's going to be the Genshin killer. Now, I'm not saying the devs. I'm talking about the players. The players treating it like it's going to be the Genshin killer. Now, that just wasn't even near correct. This game is not going to challenge Genshin at all. This game is not going to make Genshin better. A lot of people are like, oh, when Wuthering Waves comes out, Genshin will be better because it has to be. But you gotta take a look at the fact that when Final Fantasy XIV came out, it never made WoW better. WoW still stayed in the exact same state, and people still played WoW religiously. Now, I love Genshin, and I do not think Genshin is nearly as bad as WoW. WoW is really bad when it comes to how bad the devs are. Like, because at least with Genshin, it is a free-play game. You can spend a lot of money in it, but in the end, you can play free if you really want to. It does kind of target those like me who are the most likely to, you know, spend in the game, but it is still pretty good. You know, it's not, I cannot blame it for my, you know, for what I do. I'm an adult and I make my own decisions. And I do think it's a bit unfair to just throw stuff on Genshin because people make decisions. I think that's unfair, if I'm going to be honest. So I don't think we'll challenge Genshin. I don't think Genshin's really going to care that much. I think Genshin's going to stay the way it is. I think any fixes coming to Genshin is mostly because the person who was in charge of it for so long that was making it so greedy is leaving or has left. But something to remember, right, is if your fan base telling you, hey, we don't like this, isn't enough. A game coming out and doing what they say they like isn't going to change anything. Because the company has already decided what they think is the best way to go. And they don't care what you say as a fan. So, I don't think it's going to challenge Genshin. I really think Genshin's not going to care. Genshin's going to succeed and still be and thrive perfectly fine with Wuthering Waves. Now the question is, will Wuthering Waves succeed? Now, I don't think it's going to flop or fail. But I will say that if they keep at it like they did in the beginning, if they keep making, like, oh no, here's an issue, we're going to fix it right away. And if they really show like, hey, we are generous, you guys, we make a lot of money from this game, so we're going to give back a lot. If they're more generous than Star Rail, I think the game will do well. If they're as generous as, like, say, Honkai Impact 3rd, where they're giving away free S's all the time, this game's going to do really well. But if they do the whole free 4 stars like Genshin, then at that point, that aspect of the game is the exact same, and they failed where they could have really succeeded. The other aspect is the combat. I mean, the combat in Genshin is smoother, but the relic system in this game is just so good. And I also don't have to leave for a boss to reappear. So this boss that I want to farm, I just stay here, and the boss will come back when I need it. I don't have to leave. That's nice. So I do think, those ways it beats it, but I don't think, again, I don't think it's going to really make any change in Genshin itself. I do see myself, however, spending more game money in this game than in Genshin because of the fact that this game is going to give me more to do with my characters. That is one issue with Genshin. That is a major problem, is Genshin doesn't give you enough to do with your characters, that when you have them, it's like, what do you do with them, right? I have a C6, Knave. What do I do with her? She's C6, but there's nothing really that's fun to play her in because of the fact that, the Abyss isn't fun. I'm sorry, but the Abyss is not fun. It's boring, and it's annoying, and I don't enjoy it. So I look forward to seeing Wuthering Waves be a much better game that continually updates itself. And if that happens, I will definitely be putting my finances behind this game when I'm not spending in Star Rail or Impact 3rd. I do still prefer Impact 3rd and Star Rail. Those are still my my main games. Honkai has a great story. I don't feel like the story in this game is all that good. I kind of just don't care about it. But I do see myself, if I have the extra, whatever, that I usually would use in Genshin, using in this game. Anyways, guys, I hope I made this as short as possible, but that's going to be pretty much it for my video. I do think it's a really good game. It took some time to get on me. I got really lucky on my summons, but that actually wasn't what impacted my feelings. What impacted my feelings, if I'm going to be honest, the reason I like this game is the ecosystem. It gives me a reason to go around and kill monsters. I love that. Anyways, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Secret Chilean. Sign out.